Alright, off come the tires. Mike's busted. Using our DeWalt cordless impact, I give it 5. She's a mean one. Works really good. 2 thumbs up on the DeWalt 1/2 inch impact. There's one tire. Just that quick. Roll that sucker out of the way. Next goes caliper, then the rotor, then the hub assembly, then the axle. Then that side's ready. Then we go around the other side, do it all again. Alright, axle and hub assembly's out. That's where she was. 3 bolts, takes her out. There she is. I took it out with the rotor connected to it. I mean, that way I don't have to take that rotor off, because I have a wheel spacer on there, 2-inch spacer. I'd have to take the spacer off, then the lug nuts to get that rotor off. So I just leave it all together. Works just the same. Kind of heavy, but that's alright. That's one side. Here's the long side. Feel like that one's bearing. Not good. That's where she was. Drop the center link on the steering. Mike's about to pop the diff cover. And took all the bolts out. Oh, there she goes. Looks like we got some milky. Ooh, how about that? Smells lovely. So there's quite a bit in there. Might have a little water in it.
I don't know, not much.
Not much. Off comes the diff cover. Tasty. Differential right there. That's your lash.
Well, the drive's half spinning a little bit, actually. So the lash is way shorter than that. You see that they got a little level out here.
Alright, we took the caps off, hold the carrier in there. Now Mike's about to pop that carrier out.
The bolt side.
Alright, we want to take this carrier out.
Keep your hand above it, it'll mash you.
It's under pressure. There's a certain amount of preloaded pressure. You can get these case separators. Spread the case a little bit. Make that come in and out. Almost bad. Here's the case. There's your pinion back there. He's in fine shape. Brand new,
That's
actually.
what a lunchbox looks like. Gagger up in there, your 2 halves. Places the spider gears.
Auto locker by Spartan.
Kind of hard to get back out there because you got to get it, you know, little pins and them 2 bolts that lock it together in them holes, 4 of them, to get it back out there.
There's that hole.
But I got a whole new, the limited slit comes with a whole new carrier and everything. You had to get the carrier specific for 373s and up because this is a 411 gear. It originally came with 273s. So we bumped up to the 411, so you have to get the carrier that accepts a 373 or larger. So we don't need to take this apart. I mean, I'm going to pull the bearings off and get my shims out from behind the bearing. Take this ring gear off. I got new bearings, but I'll put my shims back on there and check it with our setup bearings. But I don't need to take the locker out of this carrier. It can stay in there. And once we pull these bearings off and reset the new rear end, I'll put the new shims back and we'll test it and see. And then if that works good, then you pull out your setup bearings and press on your original bearings. Or actually I got new bearings, new Timken bearings for it. So we'll press on some new Timken bearings. It should be good to go.
Alright, here we have our pinion bearing and carrier bearing puller for Dana 30s and 44s. Works real well for pulling them pinion bearings off. This big cup slips around the bearing. That ring on there, tighten it down, it holds the cup together, the 2 halves. Gotta put that thing in there. That's how she goes right there. Got that thing on Amazon. $100. Just for your Dana 30s, 44s. There's another black ring in the middle there. That one's for the 44. That one's for the 30. What am I doing wrong here? I should have put that in there. Yeah, I think you should have put that peg in there. Point the other way. There you go. No? It was easier with two hands, but in my hand I'm filming. Just like that. Bearing removed. Alright, here goes the other side. Just like that. Pulled it right off. No problem. It's a really nice tool. It works really, really well. And it is the bearings. Shims need to stay with that side. Keep them on the same side they came off of. Nice little holder. Keeps it all together. Get all the parts in there. Alright. That's it. Here we have a Spartan helical locker, or helical limited slip, for a Dana 30.
Dana 30. 27 spline axles.
Limited slip differential. Helical.
373 and up on your gear size. Little helicals in there. Looks real nice.
Look at that, shiny new.
Alright, step number one, put the ring gear on it.
See them helical cut gears right there? That's them.
It's double bored for your 3/8 or 7/16 bolts.
10 of them. So it's got 10 points of contact. Put more pressure on it. 2 different axles that causes them helical cut gears to slide down and engage, which locks it. Put my ring gear on there.
Looks like we got 3/8 bolt.
Run through there and start them bolts off. Tap it down on there good. Torque them down to 55, I think. I'll check that spec here in a minute. Gotta tap it easy. On chip no teeth. Alright, got the ring gear on, torque down. I'm going to take the shims that came off each side, put back on that side, then put our setup bearings we got, which is a bearing that's just slightly bigger, so you don't have to press it on there. So you can put it on there with your shims and then put it up in there and test it. And then if it's right, you take the setup bearings off and press on the new bearings. Alright, the setup bearings are on with the shims from each side. I'm going to put the bearing caps on there. Slide it up in there. It's got to be kind of tapped up in there because it's got a little preload on it. It should have. If not, we'll have to shim a little preload on there. This is the hard part, putting it in and off a bunch of times. Tap it up in there. Kind of rolls up in there. It's completely seated. Alright. I got it seated up in there nice. Put the bearing caps on there, but don't torque them down. Just snug them up kind of tight. And we can check it. There's a mark on there that shows which way's up and which way's down.
It's a little V right here. So this V is sideways and there's a matchy V on that. Now the V on this one is faces up and down. And then this one has, you just have to match up your two marks. It tells you which is the bottom and which side it goes on.
Apparently important that you get those back on the right side and facing the right direction.
actually felt super good on the lash so far.
Snug them up.
Let it socket. I think I was using this. And that feels super good. Put the dial indicator on it, we'll find out exactly what it is.
Seemed like it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Alright. Put the dial indicator on it, spec'd it out, it came out actually really good, so I think we're just going to stick with the shims we got. Took the setup bearings off. Now here we are at the old 20-ton shop press, Harbor Freight. Does a pretty good job. Nice one to press it right on there. Seems to be going on nice and straight. And it goes on good and straight. Nice and easy. Little by little. Alright, looks like he's got that side. Seems pretty good. He looks like he might be happy with it. Alright, here goes the other side. I think she's lined up nice. We'll find out. Down pretty easy. Looks pretty straight. Be careful. I think he likes it. Looked like it went on pretty nice. Tell me what you guys think. Felt pretty good. Alright, back to the Jeep. Alright, here we are back at the Jeep. I'm just going to press her rack up in there. Like I said, it's a little snug with that preload. You can buy these fancy rear end spreaders, case spreaders that'll spread that case apart so it slips up in there nice and easy. But they're pricey. You don't need them. You can get them in without it. Alright, seated pretty good, feels pretty good. Go ahead with the caps now. Them caps on there, same cap, the same side, with the marks pointing in the right way. Alright, caps are torqued back on. Alright, next thing we do is slip these axles back in. Hub assemblies. Before we button it up. Give it a good spin, make sure everything looks nice. Let's see what's the hard part. This long side axle. I think the tube on this axle housing is slightly bent. More of this, the Jeep was wrecked. They bent it back. But sometimes this axle, the long side, really fights you to get it in. Alright, the axles and rotors and everything's back in. All I gotta do is go through and put the calipers back on. That side's done. So I put its caliper back on. Alright, everything's back together in the front end. Seemed to have went well. All buttoned up, both sides. Looks pretty good up under there. We got a new shift linkage for the transfer case. Gonna get it readjusted. It came broke unhooked there. We got this new and improved shift linkage for Jeeps with a lift kit on it. Mike's got it installed. I'd show you up under there, but you can't see nothing anyway. Maybe once he gets moved, we'll look at it. He's got to readjust it. I think two-wheel low or two-wheel drive is actually neutral. We need to make a few adjustments here. See if we can get that right.